are we doing today, me love?
Changing yourself is so hard. What's the first step?
Well, the very first step is listening to yourself. Part of you is announcing to itself that it needs change. That's why you've asked the question. There is some part of you who is not happy with some part of yourself. But the very first step is listening to it. You know where you need to improve. You know the areas of your life that you need to work on. We all know this. I know the areas of my life where I'm not as good as I would like to be. Doesn't necessarily mean I beat myself up over it. You know, we're all human. We all have our areas where we are not our best selves, shall we say. But that just tells you an area that you need to get better at. And you also have to understand this isn't an overnight thing. This is not a light switch that you can just turn on and off. These can sometimes be months, years in the making. And somewhere along the journey, you might realize, my aim is a little off. I'm here, I'm a better person, I've gotten farther down the road of improvement. And now I notice that what I thought was the North Star isn't really the North Star, it's Saturn. And so I've got to start going this direction. It's not always evident when we start where the end of our journey is, because the journey changes us. In a sense, they talk about it's the journey that's important. Well, there's a reason that's a recurring theme. It's because the journey changes you, and where you're going to want to go to at the end of that journey changes during the journey. And so change is hard is because you've invested a lot in this journey that you've come through. There's been a big investment in time, energy, emotion, love, care, blood, sweat, tears, the whole range of human emotions and effort. And now all of a sudden you have to say, it wasn't quite right. I've got to change. I've got to be different. That's hard. It's essentially telling yourself that you're wrong. And you can take that from a spouse. You can take it from a teacher. You can take it from a mentor. You can take it from your mother. But taking it from yourself, where you genuinely tell yourself, no, you're not living up to what you should be. Not based upon what somebody else thinks of what you should be, based upon what you think you should be. You get to choose. And that is both freeing and scary, because it's a huge responsibility. And it's no wonder that many of us try not to make that. Try to avoid it. You just do what you're told. You go along with the crowd. It's easier. But at the end of the day, it's less fulfilling. You have less love in your life because you haven't lived your true self. And so finding your true self, it's a lifelong journey, and it requires lifelong change. Once you get used to that change, it becomes a little easier. And that is your daily dose of love.